Du Bois, I went and saw the world's largest jackalope, and I also had to apply for my Yellowstone permit. Then I headed back out to the trail with a certain unnamed hiker, and a hiker I hadn't met yet named Always. It wasn't long before Always had to take a side trip to get a box, though. Sadly, my mood crashed really fast. So I've noticed a problem I've got. So when hard things happen, or things aren't going like I hope for, it's really hard to focus on something else, because let's face it, like, what else is there to focus on? There's nothing besides just keep walking, which you don't even need a lot of thought process for. And so, I'm trying to listen to podcasts and stuff, which help. Grizzly territory now, I can't really put in headphones. Music isn't enough, and so just like, I already kind of hyperfixate on some problems, but now I'm really doing it. It's just like, especially when it's something that has to do with another hiker, and then like, I'm right behind this hiker, like, kind of want to keep up, but also my brain just keeps focusing on the problem and just replaying it over and over and over again, because there's nothing else to do. And it's really affecting my mental health. I'm not really sure what to do. Besides, I need to start focusing on other things, like what, I don't think my why, people say you need to have a why of why you're out here. I don't think it's strong enough. And I need to start thinking about other ideas. So maybe that'll help me. I mean, it's calmed me down for a little bit. But, yep. I decided to slow down and be on my own for a bit so I can think. I just got my tent. Like, I've been using a tarp and bivvy this whole time, but the mosquitoes were really starting to get on my nerves in the morning and evening, and maybe I overreacted, but I don't care. So I had Michael send me my tent. It's a 2-person tent, so on the outside it's like, oh, this takes up so much room, and on the inside, like, it feels like a palace. There's so much room in here. It's nice. Yep, so I just left Du Bois. A nice little town, pretty small. I stayed at, the local Episcopal church has a little shelter for hikers and bikers. It's more like one of their small congregation rooms, like hiker. You can sleep in there. They've got cots and stuff that you can set up. So that's where I stayed. I mean, I asked to stay there, and then they said, call when I get to town. And I called, and I wasn't getting a response. I guess the wind blew the phone lines down. So like, I really hope I have somewhere to stay tonight. So I went and hung out at a cafe for a couple of hours. Wanted dinner anyways. And at first they're like, is it okay if we sit you outside? Like, yeah, that's fine. So they sat me outside, and then the temperature dropped and the wind blew in, and it started to pour, like, and everyone else waiting for a table, they also had to wait outside. So I met a nice couple. When I say couple, I think they were maybe brother and sister. They were older, and like, she started asking me questions, and finally they're like, if we, when we get our table inside, if we have an extra space, do you want to sit with us? That way you're out of this weather. I was like, yes, please. So got to hang out with them. I mean, I got my food way before them, but they were really nice and asked me a lot of questions, and I explained about how I was waiting for the call back from the church. So they're like, well, what happens if you don't hear from them? I was like, well, then I guess I'll go down to the KOA, this KOA in town, and camp there, which, I mean, it's storming. I really hope the church calls me back. And the whole time the woman's just like nudging, like big smile, nudging her brother, and he was very purposely like not looking at her, just looking at her phone, looking at his phone. And she's like, finally, so what do you think? And he's like, I think we can get her to where she needs to go. Like that was it. Like I wasn't asking for a place to stay, but it made me laugh. They were just tourists passing through anyways. But then I went outside, was like, I'm gonna go try calling the church again. Went out and saw some bicyclists going into the church. I was like, wait, I'm coming too. And the lady explained what had happened. So got in, everything's good. Stayed the night, did my resupply, and just headed back out onto the trail a few hours ago. All right, getting ready for this morning's crossing. It's cold out, so I'm not looking forward to it. Okay, here we go. Whew, I made it across. It doesn't look that deep, but it got to about mid-thigh on me and then still splashed up. So like I had my shoes hanging from my waist, and they're definitely wet. Or at least the toes area are wet, but at least they didn't get completely soaked. So yes, it is 7:30 in the morning. Don't forget that water's not coming from rain, it's coming from melted snow. It was very cold, like feet were just completely in pain, toes super in pain. But I mean, it was either go at 7:30 in the morning or go across last night when it probably would have been a little bit warmer, but the river level would have been much higher. I saw comments, someone a week ago crossed the river at like 9 a.m. He was 6 foot tall and it came up to his waist, and I mean the water is strong. So to be safe, so I could actually get across, I decided to go this morning, which is what's recommended. Some things that I did to help protect myself from the cold. One, I did take off my pants, that way I could put them back on afterwards, have nice dry warm pants to put on. I wore yesterday's socks across the river, that way the socks will help protect it will help hold in a little bit of heat while crossing, and then once I finish crossing, put on the nice dry pair, today's pair afterwards. And I did wear my water shoes. I mean, if I knew I was going through lots of water crossings this morning, then I would have just stayed in my regular shoes. But if I can try and have nice, dry, warm shoes, at least till the afternoon, then that's what I prefer. Pretty soon Always caught back up to me, and we ended up hiking quite a bit together that day. That really helped my mood pick back up. I love marmots. Strawberries, and they are delicious. Happy 3rd of July. It's snowing. Whew, another ford done. And they're really kind of deceptive. They don't look that bad. Like, oh, it doesn't look more than a couple feet deep. Well, it's like 2.5 feet deep, which you forget, like that's mid-thigh, and then it's strong water, and the rocks are slippery, so you're just like fighting the water. I mean, it could be a whole lot worse. It could be deeper, but it's a struggle and it's slow going. Instead of doing the ford, setting up the camera, and then going back into the river again to do the report again, Always was nice enough to let me record him crossing the river. He was very, very nice. He played a game with me, told me about taking Boy Scouts on backpacking trips, and just really helped me get over the bad mood. I felt much better after hiking with Always for a few hours. Which trail do you think I should take? I just found a waterfall. I was not expecting one. I don't know if I'm gonna get any better of a view than this though. Hey. There we go, that's a better view. How pretty. Half of a bridge. So helpful. this time, all the precautions we were taking for the grizzlies were starting to get a little old. Hey, bear! Bears are notorious for hanging out in the bushes. Singing, so the bears leave me alone, don't want to surprise them, we're going through the bushes. Ugh, as I'm slipping in the mud. Ugh. Hey bear, where are you now? Hey bear, where are you now? Don't be surprised, don't be surprised. Ugh. I hate this mud. It is nasty. Look, bear scat. That's why we make lots of noise so the bears know that we're here, so we don't surprise them. Another thicket coming up. Hey bear! Look who made it to Yellowstone. Sadly, I had to leave Always behind around the park boundary. He wanted to go really slow through the park, and I wanted to hurry ahead to meet up with some family. After walking through a marshy area, the trail then followed the side of this deep ravine. I thought it was pretty interesting.